Hi everybody, I'm Yuval from AA21, and today I want to introduce to you our new conversational RAG endpoint. Okay, so what is conversational RAG? Okay, just like the name suggests, it's a conversational API, meaning a chat API, with RAG capabilities, meaning this is a chat that can also interact with your organizational data. How it works behind the scenes? Well, let's take a look at this diagram. So we have a user, okay, and this user essentially just sends a message and the conversation history, okay, and this goes into the endpoint, to the execution engine. In this case, the execution engine, based on the input that the user provided, have to make a choice. Either this is a question that does not require any organizational data, such as, hello, how are you, and so on, okay, and in this case, it will go directly into the LLM, the generator part, or it recognizes that it needs to use some organizational data to answer the query. Okay, and in this case, it will go in this route. Here we will get a query construction from all the history to generate an actual query. This goes to the retrieval engine and together with the top retrieved segments goes into the LLM to provide an answer to the question. This answer is then validated. Okay, in the process of the validation is a feedback. Either it's a good validation, meaning the answer is okay, and in this case, it goes to the execution engine, or the validator states that the answer is not really good, and in this case, it will ask the LLM to regenerate, plus will provide some corrections. Okay, and again, all of this part is something which is not visible to the user. Okay, you don't have to deal with all of those things. This is something that happens in the backend, in our part. All you have to do is just to provide the message and get the response. Want to see how it looks like? Let's go to the playground. So now we are at the AA21 Studio Playground, which is a no-code environment where every developer can just come and test our models, really play with them a little bit, adjust some of the parameters, and then go and take it to code. Okay, so in order for us to test the conversational RAG endpoint, first of all, what we want to do is to upload some documents. As you can see here in the RAG engine, we can just upload documents, PDF, docx, text, and markdown. Okay, and let's upload some sort of a policy. I will give it also a label. You don't have to do this. This is optional, but this is something that you can use in order to focus your search and make it both faster and more accurate. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take a look and see. You can see it's still processing, but the file should be uploaded very, very soon. And what we're testing here is the patent innovation policy, where in this case, what we are simulating is a situation where I have an invention, okay, and I want to create a patent, and now I want to know how to do that. And really, those type of documents are really hard, like who reads them except for lawyers? Okay, so what we want to do now is to use the conversational RAG endpoint in order to understand. So here, I'm again focusing the search just on the patent innovation. So you can see I have a lot of documents here, which makes sense for every organization. And now let's start to converse with it. So let's start with just a simple hello, how are you? Okay, and if you remember in the diagram, in this case, we don't have any retrieval needed. So the chat will just answer. Okay, I'm ready to assist. How can I help you? Let's say I have an invention. What are the requirements to get a patent? As you can see, I'm not that good at typing today. And now the system thinks, generates, okay, and now, okay, all the process, you see, it takes a little bit more time because it has to do the retrieval part. Okay, in order to retrieve a patent, an application must satisfy a number of requirements related to specificity and the scope of information disclosed. Generalized to be patternable, an invention must be useful, novel, like that, the requirement, and you can see just a lot of answers. You can also see based on what type of document, and so on and so on. And let's just say, it's interesting how many patents have been made at 2024 so far. Okay, and this is something which is not in the policy. Okay, and this is why it will say answer not in document. Now, this is also a question where we do not expect that a language model will just answer by itself, right? Because this is something that it probably will hallucinate or it's not really connected to the web. So in this case, we're getting a clear indication that the answer is not in the documents that are provided. Again, this is just an example. This is the playground where you can just adjust the parameters, but this is also an example of how you can build a UI or build a front end in your application, something which is quite similar to this. If you want to see how it looks like in code, check out the next video or just go to the playground and start building.